Hi students, today I'll be talking about tech, 6 tech. This is the concept continued from this IP, need of IP for IoT. It's a continuation for that. Yeah, 6 tech. This is a short form for this time slotted. This is a short form that is just like time slotted channel hopping via IEEE 802.15.4.E standard. It's an emerging standard for the industrial application and automation process, wherein which we can gain the control on the wireless network, and it's a communication wherein which we can try to schedule with the help of this emerging standard. Try to schedule the communication between the neighbor nodes in low power and low noisy networks, and to bridge the gap between the operating technology and with the IT technology. As we know, like these are different types of standard specifications which we are using for the connectivity purpose within the network. Yeah, just quickly move on to the next slide. Okay, so in the slide I mentioned the location of the 6 tech 6 top sublayer. As I mentioned, it is a time slotted channel hopping model, or it is a standard which is again add on to the medium access control layer to the portion of this IEEE 802.15.4 access technology. It's a standard technology which is used for the specific communication and specific industrial applications. So let us discuss about this 6 tech. The location of this 6 tech 6 top sublayer you can see in the diagram. So which is placed above this IEEE 802.15 standard, and also like in the structure you could see like wireless personal area network header compression field and the IPv6 version. So to standardize this IPv6 over this time slotted channel hopping mode, which is known as 6 tech, the IETF formed, and it was a proper working group, right? It was a proper working group which is allocated for the communication purpose between the nodes. So if we are looking at here, the allocation of the bandwidth or the time slot will be scheduled between the neighboring nodes. That is the first job performed by this tech. And this standard, here it will define different types of aspects, and there are different types of benefits by using this 6 tech architecture for the communication and the connectivity purpose within the network. There are different types of scheduling mechanisms also. Here, as I mentioned, it is mainly meant for the distribution or the scheduling of the time between the neighboring nodes when they have to communicate with the allocated bandwidth. Yes, so this is a standard wherein which it defines a particular time slot like to communicate within the network among the nodes. When the nodes has to establish the communication, which time slot they should start communicating, and there we need not go behind the scheduling algorithm for the time slots that are going to be utilized for the connectivity. Yes, I hope it is clear. So it's a standard that we are using for the connectivity and the communication within the network. So this standard defines proper time slot structure with the proper bandwidth when the nodes has to communicate. There will not be any additional security algorithm is required. And the time slots will be utilized as usual as per the allocation. So like here, why the scheduling plays a main important role is, it's a critical concept also, and it is mainly important to maintain a higher throughput, to reduce the latency and to minimize the power consumption. So because of all these things, we can say like this this 6 tech plays a vital important role for the communication purpose and for the other things. And there are different types of schedule management mechanisms, as I mentioned: static schedule mechanism, and also you could see neighbor to neighbor scheduling algorithm, remote monitoring and scheduling management, and hop by hop scheduling. If you can see all these scheduling process, they are meant for the communication, and when the communication should happen, like how the time slots were utilized only we were discussing. Yes, so we need not go for utilizing the scheduling algorithm. How the time slots will be fixed. Just a standard time slot will be defined, and based on that the nodes will be communicating among. Right. So let us see the first static scheduling. First scheduling part, which is a static scheduling. Like all the nodes which are in the constraint network will go for sharing a fixed schedule. How they will go for a fixed schedule? Because constraint nodes are nothing but some of the smart devices which can be connected within the network. So static scheduling, in the sense, in the name itself it is there, the scheduling process is fixed. Right? Within the constraint network, all the constraint nodes will go ahead with a fixed schedule. And accordingly, the cells or the portion of the frames will be shared. This frame is allocated for this schedule for the transmission. Like that, the cells will be shared. And the nodes allocated for particular slot to access, by using the slotted aloha manner, they will distribute. So started aloha, in the sense, it is a protocol that we use for sending the data using this time slot specifications and communicate over a specific medium. So static scheduling management mechanism, it's the one where the constraint nodes will follow a fixed schedule, and they communicate within the network. Here the cells or the frames will be shared among by using slotted aloha manner. It's a slotting aloha. It is a basic protocol for data sharing by using the fixed time slots, and through the time slots only the nodes must go with the communication through the shared medium. This is what is all about the static scheduling. So schedule will be fixed, and accordingly the nodes within the network has to communicate with each other for sending the data within the particular time interval. Okay, let us see the next scheduling mechanism. The next scheduling mechanism is meant for neighbor to neighbor scheduling algorithm. So in the previous scheduling, static scheduling, it is as simple as it was, right? Like we are fixing the time slots and we are seeing the nodes should communicate within the time slot. It is a simple kind of scheduling mechanism, and it will be used only for the less space applications or limited kind of applications. Yes, and because of this there is a problem. Like we are fixing the time and then we are looking for the communication purpose. So there will be a issue, like in case of any of the nodes or any problem occurs in the network, like the nodes may not function properly, malfunctioning we say, right? Then there will be a problem. So it is restricted for the simple scheduling mechanism, simple scheduling process. But for the large volume of applications, the static scheduling process will not work out. Again, we may face some of the problems within the network or among the nodes. Okay, the next scheduling process is like neighbor to neighbor. In the name itself, it is there as neighbor to neighbor. So neighbor to neighbor, in the sense, the scheduling will be established among the adjacent nodes. How the scheduling has to correlate, how the number of transmission has to happen, everything. So among the pair of nodes which are adjacent to each other, that the transmission should happen, number of transmission should happen. So when we are looking for this neighbor to neighbor scheduling, schedule first it will be initiated, and that correlates between the adjacent node transitions, right? So according to this, the cells or the frames in this schedule will be added or it may be deleted as per the requirements of the traffic and the bandwidths. Accordingly, the things will be changing here. That is what. So neighbor to neighbor scheduling is not completely, we can say it is static scheduling. As per the content correlation which is required among the pair of nodes, the scheduling will be established. Cells or the frames will be added or deleted as per the requirements by the traffic and as per the requirements with the bandwidth which is need to be applied. Right. So I can say it is a dynamic kind of scheduling only. because as and then when it is required for the transmission, the task will be initiated. The next type of scheduling process is remote monitoring and then scheduling management. So remote monitoring. So in the sense like the nodes will be monitored from some other place, not directly the nodes will be monitored, right? So time slots and the other resource allocations will be usually handled by this corresponding entities. Corresponding entities are the corresponding nodes within a hop distance or within a multi-hop distance. I can say number of nodes, a hop is nothing but a unit of distance. So time slot, whatever the time slots that we can allocate for the communication, and the other resources allocation completely will be handled by the multiple number of ways, like hop by hop distance wise or multi-hop distance. Maybe the nodes will be far away and the nodes will be monitored and then controlled for the data transmission. That is what, like remotely the monitoring nodes will be located in one place. Accordingly, the monitoring will be taken care and the scheduling process will be assigned here. So time slots will be allocated for the specific nodes, and remotely all those nodes will be monitored, right? And there is one more thing called as the constrained application protocol. So where I mentioned already, it will take care about the scheduling mechanisms and it will go for the controlling of all these scheduling mechanism process. So this is neighbor to neighbor and remote monitoring and scheduling management. So number of nodes will be far from the specified location within the network, and that they will be monitored accordingly. They'll be monitored accordingly. That is what we call as the remote monitoring and then schedule management. Remote monitoring and then schedule management. And the next one is about hop by hop scheduling. This is the last category of the scheduling mechanisms. Hop by hop. In the name itself, it is there. The nodes will have a specific path to a destination node, like multi-hop way. Hop is a unit distance, I said. So all the nodes will reserve a particular path to the destination node with the multiple hops way. Allocation of this cells. Allocation of all these cells in a particular schedule through the intermediary node in the path, I guess we can schedule. Allocation of all these cells or all these frames in proper schedule at each intermediary node hop in a path we can see here. So intermediary node will be there, just accordingly the schedule will be managed. The protocol that we are going to use will be just like by node, like to trigger the scheduling mechanism, it's not completely defined at one particular point of context. So node by node, the scheduling mechanism has to enable. So there are different types of scheduling management functions that will be handled by the 6-stack architecture. Also, that can be defined in 3 different forwarding modes. So what is this forwarding mode of operation means? Like for each packet by a node that should allow us to deliver the next hop node until and unless till it delivers for the next hop or to the upper layer protocol in the architecture, the transmission should not stop. Just forward, keep forwarding. It means to say the operation performed on each packet by a node should be again delivered to the next hop. Like back-to-back process we say, right? The output of one particular node will be given as an input for the other in a forward bias manner. So this is what we say hop to hop scheduling. It is just like reserving a path to the source, from the source node to the destination node in a multiple hop-way distance. Every time the protocol which we are using will be enabling the triggering process, like which is the triggering process here, scheduling mechanism. Node to node triggering will be happen, and it will enable the scheduling process for the communication. And there are 3 different forwarding techniques I mentioned. Forwarding is nothing but the output of one particular node on each packet, like it will be given as a input for the next hop or the next node. So let us see these three different forwarding models. So there are three different forwarding models with the 6TeX. So this is an operating technology I mentioned, standard operating technology. The first one is track forwarding, the second one is fragment forwarding, and we have the other one which is IPv6 forwarding. Okay, let us see what is this track forwarding. In the name itself it is there. Like along with a particular path which is in unidirectional way, the data will take place from source to the destination. So track means just like it's a unidirectional path between the source and destination. We know that unidirectional way, it is as simple as it is, and it is as fast as it is, like to forward the data within that particular network. So next one is about the fragment forwarding. So this mode, just like advantage, it will fetch the advantage from the low power wireless area network which is built on the layer 2 forwarding table. Well, I guess we have seen adaptation layer above only, we have seen all these specifications in the structure. So all the packets from this IPv6 will be fragmented at different types of sublayers, and it will be forwarded further as per the requirement. Suppose if you can consider the previous topic example, from the 6 LO personal wireless low power wireless personal area network sublayer, the fragmentation process will continue for the next frame in the structure, like payload field. So it will be handled at different fields between the IEEE 802.15.4 payload and this IPv6 layer. So this fragment forwarding mechanism will be defined like where we could see the fragments will be routed based on the IPv6 header present. So I mentioned already, the number of bytes of information for IPv6 will be more than the number of data bits at the IPv4. So this mechanism defines how the packets will be forwarded along with a particular path, how it can be handled at different layers by adding this size of the header field or size of the payload field, etc., etc. So this is a mechanism wherein which the first fragmented data packet will be routed based on the header content which is present at the IPv6 protocol. Okay, the next one is about the IPv6 forwarding. The next one is about the IPv6 forwarding mode. So this IPv6 forwarding mode is just like it transmits or forwards the traffic between the IPv6 routing table, where the packets, whatever it will be transmitted, will be prioritized based on the traditional QoS, right? Traditional QoS, the structure of the quality standard. So IPv6 forwarding, this is one of the scheduling scheme, or this is one of the just forwarding model wherein which the packet flow will be prioritized here, and it is based on the move forward information. Okay, the next thing under this IPv6 forwarding 6F is just like based on the QoS, quality service, or the quality operating standard, like we could see how, yes, we could see like how the classification scheme will takes place on the priority, means how the packets will be prioritized based on the quality of the service. So like let us see how it will be prioritized. Quality of the service, again QoS will be classified based on the, it is completely QoS will be completely classified based on the priority, and based on the common congestion avoiding mechanism. So it depends upon the again RPL process. It depends upon the RPL process. So just like the routing protocol for low power and noisy networks. So let us look into this. This is a part from the IPv6 forwarding table itself. Yes, RPL part I will discuss in the next presentation. Let me continue the next presentation regarding this RPL process.